So I just got back from our meeting, and I've been thinking a lot about this relative morality thing, because it's really become a big deal in the world, and we're not really talking about it enough. See, we got oh, by the way, this recording equipment is screwed up. It's buzzing. I'm sorry. It's going to be terrible sound. But anyways, I think we got Rob Ford because we wanted a Rob Ford, and we want to be like Rob. Our whole society is geared towards being okay with Rob Ford. Like, for instance, like, okay, we don't write people off because they have a drug problem. We don't see them as being weak, or as being immoral. We see them as being vulnerable, and we see them as maybe being weak, yeah. And but that doesn't mean they can't do stuff, you know. Like once you've done crack, you shouldn't be written off all of your life. And then also, you know, like this whole idea of whether or not you know, that there being no morality any longer. There's just legal or illegal, which is, I think, really seriously where we are at, and which is very dangerous situation, because it opens the door for fascism, and North Americans especially, tend towards fascism for nice, simple answers. So, anyways, but Rob Ford, like, you know, you don't write someone off because they're fat. You don't write somebody off because they said something stupid when they're drunk. You don't call somebody racist just because they say nigger. Now, I believe that you shouldn't, even when you're joking, use the word nigger. But that doesn't make you a racist necessarily in the eyes of most people. I don't even know if it makes them a racist in my eyes. If you have black friends and you could give a shit what color people are, and then you say the N-word every once in a while, stupidly, especially if you're drunk, you're forgiven, and people do that. And, you know, like, for instance, Olivia Chow might be a really good racist. She might think white people are dumb and dirty and yucky. But she never calls us honkies. She's very smart about it. I mean, this, I have no idea, of course. But you see, like, is it better to be a good racist or to be a bad regular guy? Like Rob Ford, who has black friends, gay friends, Italian friends, but says fairy, wop, and nigger. And only when he's drunk. So, in that way, he is the everyman that we deserve. Because that's where we are at. We do not, you know, for instance, okay, so universal values. I looked up some, and it's funny. Like, if you use, okay, so there's respect, equity, freedom, and trust. These are the just somebody's. I don't really know who they are. But you just get, when you try to, you know, for instance, you know, like, okay, Rob Ford never did anything illegal, but except to do drugs, and then you go, okay, well, should drugs be illegal? And my answer to that is no. And so, did he really do anything wrong in my eyes? Because I have my relative morality now. There is no ultimate morality. Ultimate morality scares me, and relative morality scares me. I don't, you know, pulling your pants up. No one tells me whether it's right or wrong to have that I should have my pants up, or that other people should have their pants up. It all depends on where you were brought up, how you were brought up, what your influences were. You know, like the people who ripped off the globe and walked away with trillions of dollars in the United States. They didn't do anything illegal. They may have been brought up in households where you shouldn't lie to each other, but you can lie to other people. And is lying really wrong? Sometimes you have to lie, and you know, if you're a businessman, you've got to lie. Someone can't walk into your shop and say, no, the mufflers are cheaper next door. Go next door. Like, it just like there's sometimes lying is just completely stupid. So you can't say, don't lie. You know, this is what I'm up against with my kids when they're trying to ask me, you know, what's right and what's wrong. I don't know. You see, what we're not good at I think, is saying, okay, look, we're going to have relative morality for a while. Let's get rid of Christianity. It's making us sick. We don't want a woman's life to be written off because she shows her boobs. Okay? Like, sure, that's silly. But then we can't make showing boobs an immoral act. It has to be a perfectly fine act with us. Like, things have progressed so that, sure, great, women don't ruin their lives by showing their boobs when they were drunk or for whatever reason, just because they wanted to. But now look where we're at, though. The life-ruining level has gotten down to choking and injuring and just treating women just disgustingly. And then, okay, and then now you get into that. Like this is personal. In my experience, being fair and nice and not being rather animalistic with a woman in bed was not fun for them. They didn't like it. What, you know? I mean, So anyways, what I think we're not good at is saying, all right, well, look, we'll have relative morality for a while, but that's going to be bad eventually. And so let's get ready for that so that when it does turn bad, which I believe that it's turned bad now, because we can't say that anybody's doing anything wrong anymore, because it all depends on their genes or who brought them up or how poor they are. Like, okay, like stealing is stealing, if you're really poor, is stealing, if you're hungry, is stealing bad? I don't think so. In fact, in the United States, I think people should start stealing shit. Because the difference between rich people and poor people is just too ridiculously far, and they should just take it. It's, to make this stop. What got, I lived in a country where white people tried to make black people as stupid as they possibly could, like in every way. This wasn't official policy, but they stupefied the black people on purpose. They gave them limited education. They didn't want a middle class. They didn't want smart black people walking around saying, "Jesus Christ, this is a disaster. We gotta take back." So, I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, this relative morality, what's going to happen is it's going to get so complicated for you to even say a simple thing like pull up your pants, that we are just going to open the door to people who will say, all right, I am going to run the show, and I will just tell you what's right and what's wrong, and you will follow it, or you go into jail. And that's it. I'm sick and tired, and you are sick and tired of all of this trying to figure shit out. And so I'm just gonna make it up. And I don't know what I'll base it on. Maybe I'll base it on Christianity. Maybe I'll just base it on what I feel like. So, like when my kids say, I'm just out of, the camera's moving in and out. That's funny. It just does that. It's so cute. It's like having a camera person. Anyhow, but yeah, Rob Ford is a product of our new thinking. We have fought to get here. We have fought to not write people off for showing their boobs and for doing crack. And now we're dealing with the consequences of not being able to pin. Like this whole, okay, so if I use these values here, respect. Okay, so who's being disrespected and equity? Okay, well, that's not fair. If it's the fashion for black people to have their pants down, then that's not equal. But it's disrespectful for old people to have to look at young people with their pants down, and then there's freedom here, and you go, okay, well, you're infringing upon my freedoms to have a style and wear my pants wherever I want, and why the hell do old people care where my pants are? And then is it really wrong to show your bum or your penis? You know, like, I mean, we're here where we're debating these things, and I can't say no. I can't tell anybody how they're supposed to feel. I can only say how I feel. Like, I can only say, oh, well, I just don't think people should. Like, personally, I just think that putting your pants down, it puts you at a disadvantage in a whole bunch of different ways. But really, the only thing I can really say that's bad about it is that you can't run away if the lion charges. Right? You know what I mean? Like, it puts you at an automatic disadvantage, so it's dumb. So I write it off on that level. But as far as equity, freedom, trust, respect, I can't use any of those arguments to stop a person from wearing the pants wherever they please. So, I mean, we're here, and we need to be in between, and we aren't yet. The problem is that the way we work, because we don't think far enough ahead, is that we're gonna swing back in the other direction, have someone come in with ultimate values. You know, like, Christians had ultimate values, but I didn't like them, and I don't want them. Like I said to you this afternoon, I don't want their values. I make my own up. Thank you very much. And so we fought to get there. To get here, and now we're here. So we got to deal with it somehow. I really don't, and again, I don't have the answer.